American history story time. This is about the little two-holer boat on Battleship and JFK before he was president. World War II in the Pacific Theater had a lot of islands and a lot of naval warfare. So sinking enemy boats was a top priority, and the Americans came up with a very American way of doing that. Let's take an offshore racing boat and put all the firepower we can on the thing. And then you know those engines that were sticking in the fighter planes? Yeah, the 1500 horsepower supercharged V12 ones. Let's stick one of those on there. Scratch that. Let's stick 3 of those on there. Yeah, I know it's gonna burn between 200 and 500 gallons an hour. Just put a really big gas tank on it. Problem solved. No, it doesn't need armor. It's gonna go really fast. You can't shoot what you can't hit. And that's what they did. They called them PT boats, patrol torpedo boats. They had 8 torpedoes, various deck guns, and they would just drive up to enemy boats really quick, shoot everything they had at them, and then turn around and drive away really fast. And they were effective. But when you can't see what's coming, even 4,500 horsepower makes it really hard to get out of the way. And unfortunately, for young Lieutenant John F. Kennedy and his crew, the night of August 1st, 1943 was pitch black. And they were a little too spot on with where they decided to wait for Japanese convoys to shoot at that particular evening. Because by the time they realized that they were directly in the path of a Japanese destroyer, they didn't have enough time to get out of the way. Big ship, little boat, you get the picture. The destroyer hit PT109, cut the boat in half, killed 2 of the crew on impact and injured multiple others, and the destroyer steamed on, never knowing that anything happened. The crew clung to the wreckage till the sun came up and they could assess the situation. And Kennedy's assessment of that situation was it was just time to do superhuman hero shit. There was an island about 3.5 miles away, and Kennedy's like, we're gonna swim for it. Kennedy, who had been on the Harvard swim team, was a strong swimmer, as were a couple of the other crew members, but some of the crew were not as strong as swimmers or were injured and couldn't swim. So they put some of the members who couldn't swim on a plank, and the good swimmers of the crew took turns pushing and pulling that plank to shore, while Kennedy pulled another crewmate to shore with the strap of his life jacket held in his teeth. Unfortunately, the island was deserted, it had no food, no water, was not a good place to be. So Kennedy just decided he was going to go swim another few miles to the passage where the PT boats were operating and hopefully flag down a rescue boat. And when that endeavor was unsuccessful, he spent the next few days either by himself or with crew members swimming around to the next few islands, till they finally found one that had coconuts and would provide them with some food and hydration. After that, Kennedy and another crew member started swimming around to more islands that were miles apart, looking for a way to get rescued. And after miles of swimming from island to island, their lucky break came on August 6th when they encountered a couple native islanders who were Allied scouts. Kennedy scratched a message in a coconut and sent it off with the islanders to be delivered. The islanders returned the next day with food, water, and instructions on how to be rescued. And on the morning of August 8th, over a week after PT109 was sunk, PT157 met Kennedy and his 10 remaining crew members at the rendezvous and rescued them without incident. Enshrining Kennedy in the history books as a certifiable hero, and without question one of the most badass men to ever be president.